You are not seeing this by accident. At this very moment, as the veil between the physical and the celestial grows thin, you have been led here by a force much greater than yourself. Do not look away, and do not scroll past, for the silence you feel around you right now is pregnant with a divine urgency that can no longer be ignored. I am here to deliver a message that has been echoing through the halls of the heavens, a message carried on the wings of Archangel Michael himself, specifically for your ears. You have felt it, haven't you? That heavy, suffocating weight that seems to settle in the corners of your home when the sun goes down. It is not just the fatigue of a long day, nor is it the simple stress of the world. There is a specific, dense energy that has begun to permeate the very walls where you sleep, a spiritual coldness that is attempting to dampen the fire of your prosperity and peace. Heaven is sending you a direct warning because a shadow has been cast over your threshold. This energy is not a natural occurrence. It is a spiritual interference designed to cloud your judgment and drain the resources you have worked so hard to gather. Archangel Michael stands before your door even now, his sword of blue flame drawn, pointing toward the thresholds and the windows of your sanctuary. He sees what the human eye cannot, vibrations of lack and stagnation that are trying to take root in the place where you should feel most safe. Have you noticed how the air feels thicker lately? How, despite your best efforts to organize and cleanse your space, a sense of unease lingers? This is the signature of a dark financial curse that is attempting to weave itself into the fabric of your daily life. It feeds on your worry and grows stronger in the silence of your hesitation. The divine has watched your struggles, and the heavens have heard your midnight whispers when you thought no one was listening. You have asked for a sign, and this is it. A celestial intervention to stop the leak in your spiritual vessel. There is something in your home, perhaps an object or a lingering resentment, that is acting as a magnetic pole for this dark energy. It is drawing the blessing away before it can even reach your hands. Michael's presence is a shield, but he requires your recognition of the battle. You are being called to wake up from the spiritual slumber that has allowed this shadow to linger. The Father does not want you to live in the shadows of scarcity, yet the enemy has placed a veil over your household to make you believe that your current struggle is your permanent destiny. It is not. The light of the Archangel is piercing through that veil right now, exposing the cracks where the light has been escaping. This warning is the first step in reclaiming the sacred ground of your life and your finances. The heavens are waiting for your response, for the path ahead is narrow and requires your absolute focus. As you breathe in the weight of this revelation, the atmosphere around you begins to shift, revealing a truth that has been hidden in the periphery of your vision. Archangel Michael now moves closer, his presence a towering pillar of light that casts long, revealing shadows across the floor of your life. He is pointing his sword not at the walls of your home, but at the connections you hold dear. For the second truth the heavens wish to reveal is far more unsettling. There is a hidden shadow lurking within your circle, a presence that acts as an eclipse to your personal sun. You have wondered why, despite your prayers and your tireless labor, the fruits of your success seem to wither before they can be harvested. It is because someone or something very close to you is unintentionally, or perhaps with dark intent, blocking the light that is meant to nourish your path. This is a spiritual parasite, a dynamic of envy, or a lingering spirit of lack that has attached itself to your frequency. Have you felt that sudden drain of energy after speaking with a certain person? Have you noticed how your brightest ideas seem to lose their luster the moment you share them? This shadow is not always a monster. Sometimes it wears the face of a friend, a relative, or a confidant who smiles while their spirit harbors a secret resentment toward your potential. They see the glow of the Archangel's favor upon you, and because they cannot find their own light, they seek to dampen yours to make themselves feel more secure. This creates a spiritual friction, a leak in your financial vessel, where your blessings are being diverted to fill the voids of another. Archangel Michael is showing me a vision of a golden cord that should be connecting you to the infinite abundance of the heavens, but this cord is frayed, tangled in the heavy gray webs of another person's negative expectations for you. They speak words of caution that are actually seeds of doubt. They offer advice that is designed to keep you small and manageable. This is how the dark financial curse maintains its grip. It uses the voices of those you trust to convince you that you are not worthy of the overflow. The Archangel's blue flame is now flickering more intensely, signaling that the time for discernment has arrived. You must look beyond the physical gestures and see the energetic reality. This shadow is a barrier between your current state and the breakthrough you have been fasting for. It is a silent thief that steals your momentum before you can reach the finish line. The heavens are warning you that as long as this shadow is allowed to feast on your light, the curse will find a way to replicate itself in every new venture you begin. You are being called to sever the spiritual ties that no longer serve your highest good, for the light cannot dwell where the darkness is invited to stay for tea. The weight you feel on your shoulders is the weight of this hidden shadow, and Michael is waiting for your permission to cut it away. The gaze of the Archangel turns outward now, moving beyond the interior of your sanctuary to the very borders of your physical world. Archangel Michael stands at the threshold of your home, his eyes like burning coals of truth, looking toward those who live just a few steps away from you. You might believe that your walls provide a shield of privacy, but in the realm of the spirit, energy knows no such boundaries. There is a presence very close to you, a silent neighbor, or someone who walks the same streets and watches your coming and going, who is harboring a darkness that has begun to seep into your life. This person does not shout. They do not confront you. Instead, they observe with a quiet, hollow intensity that draws from the shadows of the unseen world. Heaven is revealing that this individual is not just a passive observer. There is a bitterness in their heart that has turned into a spiritual weapon, perhaps without them even fully realizing the depth of the harm they are invoking. Have you noticed a strange tension when you cross paths? A feeling of being watched when no one is there? This silent neighbor hides a spirit of deep-seated envy that acts as a conduit for the dark financial curse you are battling. While you are inside praying for a breakthrough, they are projecting vibrations of malice that act like a thick spiritual fog around your property. They look at your life, your family, and the seeds of success you are trying to plant, and they wish for the harvest to fail, simply because they cannot stand the brightness of your potential. Archangel Michael is pointing his sword toward a specific direction near your home, indicating that the ground itself has been touched by this negative intent. This person's secret thoughts are like invisible roots, trying to choke the life out of your prosperity. They represent the unseen watchmen of the enemy, stationed close to you to report on your vulnerabilities. In the spiritual economy, this type of neighborly malice creates a leakage of grace. Every time you step out of your door with hope, their silent gaze attempts to tether you to the earth, preventing your spirit from rising to the heights of abundance that God has ordained for you. They may even offer a polite smile or a wave, but the heavens see the coldness beneath the mask. This is why your path has felt so steep, and why your resources seem to vanish into thin air, because you're being spiritually pickpocketed by an energy that lives right next door. The Archangel warns that this darkness is not to be fought with human words or earthly arguments, but with the armor of light. You must recognize that the battle is not against flesh and blood, but against the silent projections of a soul that has lost its way. This person's hidden intentions have created a spiritual dam that is holding back the flow of your financial blessings. If you do not acknowledge this external blockage, you will continue to wonder why your hard work yields so little fruit. The divine is calling you to a higher level of discernment, to see the wolves that dress in the clothing of commonality. The atmosphere of your street is being cleansed even now by Michael's presence, but you must be aware of the eyes that watch from the shadows. The revelations are deepening, and the secrets of the Spirit are unfolding one by one to set you free from this cycle of lack. The air in the room suddenly grows still, and the flickering light of the Archangel's presence shifts from the walls and the neighbors to something much closer to the center of your heart. Archangel Michael's expression softens, yet his intensity doubles, for the heavens are now revealing a vulnerability that moves beyond your bank account and into the very legacy of your bloodline. There is a spiritual shadow reaching out its cold fingers toward your child, or a loved one who carries your heart in their hands. The dark financial curse you are battling is not content with just stealing your gold. It is a multi-generational predator that seeks to dim the light of the innocent ones under your care. Michael stands now with his vast, shimmering wings arched like a protective canopy, for he sees an arrow of confusion and stagnation being aimed at the spirit of your loved one. You have felt a strange shift in their behavior, haven't you? A sudden cloud of sadness, a loss of direction, or a restlessness that they cannot explain. The enemy knows that if he cannot break you through your wallet, he will try to break you through your love. This spiritual warning is being delivered with the utmost urgency, because the adversary is trying to plant seeds of the same lack and struggle in their young path before they even have a chance to walk it. The heavens are showing me a vision of a beautiful glowing spark, the soul of your loved one, and around it, the same gray webs that have been trying to entangle your finances are starting to spin. This is a strategic attack. The dark curse wants to ensure that the cycle of poverty and spiritual heaviness continues into the next generation. It wants to make sure that the doors that are closing for you remain locked for them. But do not let fear take root, for the Archangel is here as a mighty watchman. He is showing you this not to frighten you, but to arm you. You are being called to stand as a spiritual wall between the darkness and your family. The voices from heaven are whispering that your prayers are the only thing holding back a flood of misfortune that has been prepared for them. There is a specific energy of delay that is trying to attach itself to their studies, their dreams, and their future connections. Michael is raising his shield of truth, signaling that you must now intercede with a new level of authority. The hidden intentions of the dark world are to use your financial stress to create an atmosphere of fear in your home, an atmosphere where the spirit of your child cannot breathe or grow. The heavens are sounding a trumpet of alarm. Watch the dreams they have at night, listen to the words they don't say, and pay attention to the signs in their environment. The curse is trying to find a back door into your life through the person you love most. Michael is ready to strike down this interference, but he needs you to recognize that your battle for financial freedom is actually a battle for their spiritual inheritance. If you break the curse now, they will walk on level ground. If you ignore this warning, they may inherit the mountains you were meant to level. The weight of this revelation is heavy, but the grace available to you is even heavier. The Archangel's sword is glowing with a fierce protective light, preparing to sever the tether that links your struggle to their future. The atmosphere in the room begins to thin, as if the very air is being purified by a celestial fire. You may feel a sudden gentle warmth brushing against your shoulder, or perhaps a faint scent from the past, a perfume, a flower, or the smell of rain on dry earth that shouldn't be there. Archangel Michael steps aside, lowering his sword just for a moment, to reveal a shimmering bridge of light that has formed behind you. Standing upon that bridge is a soul you thought you had lost to the silence of the grave. Someone who transitioned into the heavens is reaching out across the great divide, their spirit vibrating with an urgency that matches the Archangel's own warning. This loved one, now draped in the clarity of the afterlife, has been watching your struggle with the dark financial curse, and they are desperate to give you the key they found only after they left the physical world. They see the shadow that has been haunting your accounts and your peace of mind, and they want you to know that this is not your burden to carry alone. In the spirit realm, they can see the energetic knots that are binding your hands, and they are whispering into the ears of your soul right now. Can you hear it? That small, persistent voice in the back of your mind telling you to look again or to remember the promise. They are trying to show you a specific mistake or a hidden door that you have overlooked. This loved one is acting as a heavenly witness to your pain, and they have petitioned the divine for this moment of connection. They want to tell you that the scarcity you are experiencing is a lie, a spiritual illusion woven by the enemy to make you forget the inheritance of abundance that was written in your bloodline long ago. They are pointing toward a memory, something you shared with them before they departed, a moment of pure faith that the dark curse is trying to make you forget. Archangel Michael is facilitating this union because the prayers of the ancestors are a powerful force against the darkness. This loved one is showing me a vision of a locked chest, and they are handing you a spiritual key made of pure light. This key represents a specific action or a shift in your mindset that will begin to dissolve the financial chains. They are warning you that the enemy has tried to use your grief and your sense of loss to further cement the curse of lack, making you feel abandoned by both heaven and earth. But they are standing right there, a vibrant proof that you are never alone. They want you to know that the energy of the home is being weighed down by a spirit of mourning that has overstayed its welcome, and it is this very spirit that the dark curse is using as an anchor. They are urging you to release the heaviness, to breathe in the light that Michael is pouring into the room, and to accept the blessing that is trying to reach you. The voices from heaven are singing a song of restoration, but you must be willing to listen to the echoes of those who came before you. This loved one's message is clear. The curse ends with you, but only if you take the hand that is being offered from the light. The connection is flickering now as the message settles into your heart, preparing you for a revelation that will take place in the deepest hours of the night. The twilight has faded, and as you retreat into the sanctuary of your room, you believe you are alone with your thoughts. But the heavens see the invisible war being waged in the very place where you seek rest. You are not seeing this message by accident as the moon rises, for the night holds secrets that your waking mind has been too distracted to perceive. Have you noticed in those quiet hours between midnight and dawn, how the atmosphere of your bedroom suddenly shifts? Perhaps you have woken up at exactly 3 a.m., your heart racing for no apparent reason, feeling a heavy, cold presence standing at the foot of your bed. This is not a trick of the mind, nor is it merely a restless dream. Archangel Michael is revealing to me that the dark financial curse you are under is most active when your conscious guard is down. The enemy uses the silence of the night to sow seeds of lack and limitation directly into your subconscious, trying to ensure that when you wake, your first thought is one of scarcity rather than the abundance God has promised. Look closely at the corners of your room tonight. Do you see the way the shadows seem to linger longer than they should? Do you feel that sudden, unexplained chill that passes through the air, even when the windows are tightly shut? This is the signature of a spiritual monitor, a dark energy assigned to track your movements and drain your vital force. Archangel Michael is standing in the center of your room even now, his towering form glowing with a fierce, protective light that pushes back against these nocturnal intrusions. He is showing me that the energy of debt and the spirit of poverty have been trying to claim your bed as their territory. They want to turn your place of rest into a place of torment, where you toss and turn, calculating numbers that never add up and fearing a future that has already been redeemed by the light. The archangel is raising his sword of blue flame, striking the floor of your sanctuary to create a perimeter of holy fire that no dark influence can cross. Heaven is warning you to watch for the signs in your dreams. Have you been dreaming of being trapped or of losing something valuable that you can never find? These are not just dreams, they are spiritual thefts occurring in the ethereal realm. The dark curse is trying to steal your creative blueprints, the ideas and the visions that would lead you to your financial breakthrough, before you can even bring them into the light of day. Michael is here to restore what has been taken in the dark. He is whispering a divine decree over your pillow, calling for a reset of your spiritual frequency. The voices from heaven are telling you to cleanse your room with prayer and to invite the light in before you close your eyes, for the night is when the final chains of this curse are being forged. But as Michael stands guard, those chains are being melted by his presence. You are being called to be a watchman of your own peace. Do not ignore the whispers in the dark, and do not dismiss the gut feeling that tells you something is hidden in the shadows of your home. The battle for your prosperity is being fought while you sleep, and the heavens are giving you the victory, but only if you acknowledge the reality of the spiritual struggle. The dawn is coming, but before it breaks, a much deeper secret must be uncovered, a secret involving someone you believe to be an ally. As the first light of a spiritual dawn begins to stir, Archangel Michael turns his gaze toward the people you have invited into the inner sanctum of your life. The atmosphere grows heavy with a sorrowful truth, for the heavens are now pulling back the curtain on a betrayal so subtle, so invisible, that you have mistaken it for loyalty. You are not hearing this by accident. Your soul has been whispering a warning that your mind was too kind to believe. Michael stands before you, his sword of blue flame held vertically, acting as a divine plumb line to measure the hearts of those you trust. He is pointing toward someone you consider an ally, someone who has sat at your table and listened to your dreams of prosperity, all while harboring a secret, dark intention that fuels the financial curse you are under. This person does not come with an open weapon, They come with a cold smile and words of concern that are laced with a spiritual poison. Have you noticed how, after sharing your successes with them, a sudden accident or an unexpected bill always seems to arrive? This is the invisible betrayal. In the spiritual realm, their envy acts as a vacuum, drawing the blessing out of your hands before it can even settle. They ask about your finances not to celebrate with you, but to see where the walls are thin so they can project their own spirit of lack into your life. They are like a leak in a sealed jar. No matter how much divine favor is poured into you, it drains away because this person has been given access to your energy. Archangel Michael is showing me a vision of a silver cord that connects your heart to theirs, but that cord is blackened with a hidden resentment. They believe that if you rise, they will be left behind, and so they unconsciously, or perhaps with calculated malice, pray against your overflow. Heaven is warning you that this invisible Judas is closer than you think. They are the one who offers rational reasons why you shouldn't take the leap of faith that God has called you to. They are the one who subtly reminds you of your past failures when you speak of a bright future. The dark financial curse has found a home in their bitterness, using their proximity to you as a bridge to cross into your territory. Michael is now raising his shield, placing it between you and this person's influence. He is calling for you to look not at their words, but at the fruit of their presence in your life. Does your bank account dwindle when they are near? Does your confidence shatter after a friendly conversation with them? The voices from heaven are shouting for your discernment to wake up. This is the broken seal that must be repaired. You cannot reach the heights of the 8th block while carrying the weight of a betrayer on your back. The Archangel is preparing to sever this tether, to cut the invisible strings of manipulation that have been holding your finances hostage. The truth is painful, but it is the only fire that can burn away the curse for good. We are approaching the final revelation, the moment where the power of this curse is shattered forever. The air in the room has become so dense with the presence of the divine that it feels as though time itself has come to a standstill. You are standing at the absolute edge of your old life, the final threshold between the years of hidden struggle and the vast unwritten landscape of your liberation. Archangel Michael is no longer merely standing beside you. He has expanded to fill the entire space, his wings shimmering like 1,000 suns, his sword of blue flame raised high above his head, vibrating with the power to shatter every chain that has ever been forged in the dark. This is the moment of the final warning, the point of no return where the heavens demand your total focus. The dark financial curse that has haunted your family, the shadow that has lived in your walls, the silent envy of the neighbor, and the invisible betrayal of the false ally. All of it is being gathered together right now, exposed by the light that refuses to be ignored. Heaven is telling you that this is your last chance to take divine action before the window of this specific celestial alignment closes. You have felt the weight of the lack, the just enough cycles, and the almost there breakthroughs that vanished at the last second. These were not mere coincidences. They were the symptoms of a spiritual sickness that has tried to claim your destiny. But the Archangel's voice is now a thunderous roar in the spirit realm, declaring that enough is enough. He is showing me a golden scroll with your name written upon it in fire, representing the financial inheritance that has been held in a heavenly vault, waiting for you to have the courage to claim it. The enemy has tried to keep you blind, but the scales have fallen from your eyes. If you choose to remain silent now, if you choose to treat this message as just another video or a passing thought, the darkness will solidify, and the leak in your life will become a flood. But you were not made for the flood. You were made to walk on the water. Archangel Michael is pointing his sword at the ground beneath your feet, signaling that the very earth you stand on is being reclaimed for the kingdom of light. The voices from heaven are singing a song of total restoration. The debts you thought would take decades to pay, the resources you thought were lost forever, and the peace you thought was a dream are all within your reach. This final warning is a call to spiritual arms. You must now speak to the mountains of lack and command them to be cast into the sea. The Archangel is waiting for your internal yes, the moment where your faith overrides your fear. The energy of the night is being replaced by the glory of the morning, and the betrayal you uncovered in the previous block is being neutralized by the sheer force of divine favor. This is the end of the desert. The hidden intentions of those who wished for your fall are being turned into the very stones you will use to build your palace. The dark curse is trembling because it knows its time is up. The heavens are holding their breath, watching to see if you will step through the door that has been forced open by Michael's own hand. There are no more signs to wait for. There are no more delays to endure. The dark financial curse is being incinerated by the blue flame of the Archangel, even as you read these words. Take the key that was handed to you by your loved one in heaven. Stand in the authority that Michael has draped over your shoulders like a royal robe. The cycle of poverty is broken. The legacy of lack is finished. This is your moment of absolute divine victory. This was heaven's final call. The spiritual warfare over your finances has reached its climax, and the victory has been delivered to your doorstep. The shadows have been exposed, the betrayers silenced, and the gates of abundance have been swung wide by the sword of Archangel Michael himself. No more signs, no more delays. If this message reached your soul, and you feel the chains of lack breaking at this very moment, comment, "I receive the abundance," and share it with someone who might still be asleep. You heard the warning. Now act before it's too late.